I hold a very special title. I am the last girl that Scotty ever dated. Scott has been my very best friend for the past 25 years. His friendship has shaped the person I am today, in ways I'm not even sure that he realizes. Our friendship is the kind that defines who you are as a person. We first met in middle school choir, where I sat behind him, and I accidentally kept kneeing him in the back. But I've been lovingly annoying him ever since. Over the years, we've shared so many seasons of life together. From being president and vice president of the high school marching band, to moving apart for college, to life in Detroit and Chicago, and even across the ocean, as we both started our families. Through it all, Scott has always been the kind of friend that everybody hopes to have. Kind, hilarious, deeply loyal, and always up for a spontaneous sing-along. One of our favorite sing at the top of your lungs songs is Seasons of Love from the musical Rent. It asks the question, how do you measure a year in the life? And the answer, of course, is love. Scotty, you've been my best friend through every season, and in honor of that, I'd like to share a few seasons of Scotty. Our middle and high school years were full of adventures of the fearsome fivesome. Table over there. Musical theater, high school dances, where Scott was my date in most occasions. Scott was always the best partner in crime for pulling pranks, Chris Brett, the best conversationalist for philosophical late night talks, the bravest roller coaster buddy who always asked life's biggest questions on the top of the hill. If you don't know, that's where Scott asked me to be his girlfriend. And the most devoted bandmate, including our unofficial clarinet choir. Scott and I were even voted best friends in our high school superlatives. During our season of college, we went our separate ways. And little did we know, this was just the beginning of our long-distance friendship season. We got to meet each other's new friends, still attend a lot of college dances together. And while we didn't find romantic love in college, I watched Scott fall deeply in love with mathematics. And I've seen him share that love with hundreds of students over the years. Not everyone is lucky enough to find their vocation in life, but Scott absolutely has. As our postgraduate season continued, life took us to different cities, but our friendship only grew. Scott continued to teach me what it meant to show up for someone. We visited, we FaceTimed, we cheered each other on, and kept showing up. Through job changes, new family member Misty, heartbreak, and new beginnings. We continued to go to amusement parks, visit new cities, take extraordinarily rainy camping trips, and of course, more karaoke and dancing. In this past season, as Scott moved from Berlin to Brussels, I first met Kaushik on WhatsApp. Scott had been messaging me about this new guy, and things were clearly moving quickly. Video by video, I saw more of Kaushik until one day Scott told me we're moving in together. Over the last 5 years, I've come to know Kaushik, not only as Scott's partner, but as an honorary uncle to my kids, and a true friend to me. He brings out the best in Scott, the silly, the serious, the singing, the soulful. He lets Scott be completely himself, and that is the kind of love that you wish for your best friend. As we grew up, Scott once shared something that's always stayed with me in my heart. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Some people are leaves, brief but beautiful. Some are branches, strong but sometimes temporary. And then there are the roots, the people who keep you grounded, who help you grow, and who stay no matter what. Scotty, you are my root in my life's tree. You make me feel safe, brave, strong, and so very deeply loved. And today I feel so honored to be here celebrating the love that you've grown, your new roots, surrounded by all of the roots who adore you both so much. So congratulations to the happy couple. Here's to a lifetime of seasons full of love.
Thank you, Nicole. You're like Will and Grace. Is that what they call you?
Incredible job running the show, saying really thoughtful things, and it was really meaningful for Anna and I, my wife, to have someone so close to us and so important play such a big role in our wedding. So Scott gave me 2 minutes to speak as part of his international, multi-day, double wedding event extravaganza, so I'll try to make it brief. With my remaining minute, I don't have to talk too much about how great Scott and Kaushik are, because all of you know. You've all come from different states, countries, taken time out of your day to be here, and so many people did the same in Belgium. So you guys get it. They're great. My favorite thing, and what I love about Scott, is his devotion to joy. He's always been so happy and delightful and thoughtful and kind and supportive. We haven't lived in the same place for about 20 years now, almost. Coming on 20 years, which is crazy. But he's always been there for me. He's always been there to cheer me on and cheer me up when needed. And you know, I'm just grateful to have him as a friend. I also love how much of a goofball he is, how ridiculous he is. He's such a humor. Back when we were younger, he was a little bit more on the annoying side. But he's still got that great sense of humor. Back when we were in middle school, he called my sisters, who are also here, by each other's names. And he just decided to do that for shits and giggles. But he continued to do it for like over a year. So it was one of those things that was like really funny until it wasn't funny. But then it was funny again. And then, of course, my sisters could appreciate it because part of it was at their expense, but they appreciate his commitment to the bit. So what I really admire him now is his pursuit of joy. He's lived an incredible life. He's done things that we could have never dreamed of as kids. And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of effort to do those things. And I'm so proud of how you've just lived your best life and been who you want to be, done things you want to do. And I would have never thought when we were growing up, I thought I was the ambitious one. But Scotty's obviously lived different places, traveled all sorts of different places, experienced different cultures, met different people. It's been incredible to watch. After he moved to Europe, like right after he moved, I told him he wasn't going to come back to the States. Sorry, Becky and John. I just saw it coming. He might still come back. Yep. Okay? But I knew that he'd find a community and love in Europe. And it was such a privilege to be able to travel to Belgium for his Belgian wedding and get to know all the amazing people he surrounded himself with, who are all thoughtful, kind, and loving and caring. Many of them who could make it here tonight, which is amazing. So I even though I'm the best man and I'm Scott's best friend, you're giving me a little bit of a run for my money, but I can handle that. So of course I wouldn't know that he would find someone as passionate and adventurous and unique as Kaushik in his life. And while I've had a good time knowing Kaushik for the past few years, we went to India together and met up with Kaushik's parents, which was amazing. It was an incredible experience. They visited us in Colorado, which was so nice of them. I think that the best way to describe how Kaushik is right for Scott, and I'm going to have need a little assistance here, is through their first messages to each other. So Kaushik first messaged Scott on Facebook on January 4th, 2020. And they didn't know that I had this, but I borrowed Scott's phone for a little bit. So January 4th, 2020 at 7:46 a.m. I had a great time last night, but I think my boxers are at your place. No. I'm joking. It's not those kinds of messages. It's not. It was actually, Happy New Year, Scott. Here's a small present for you. And then it just says math, jokes, and puns. And then from there, Kaushik lists off 21 in the same message, 21 different math jokes. I'm going to hit a couple relevant highlights. Number one, why was the fraction apprehensive about marrying the decimal? Because you would have to convert. Another one that's relevant is, what's the best way to flirt with a math teacher? Use acute angle. Also, I'd say a series of math jokes works as well, right? And the reason why I think this demonstrates, why I'm so happy Scott found Kaushik and why Kaushik is right for Scott is because how can anyone not smile or laugh at or find joy from a series of 21 napkins? I mean, ever since the beginning, Kaushik just wanted Scott to smile, wanted him to be as happy as I want him to be, and loved him as much as I have. And I wish them a joyous life together.
Thank you, Chris.
Everyone wants to read the other jokes, I'm making them available.
All right, next to offer a toast would be a Prajbal.
Again, for those who don't know me, I am Prajwal, the best man of the group. Also, the younger brother. For those who do know me, yes, I am just as surprised as you guys are that I am the best man. Especially considering that for most of our childhood, my brother and I have been mortal enemies with shared parents. Yeah. There have actually been legends. There are legends, legends of our fights in our community. Even our pet dog, Nimbus, could not stop our fights when my brother was trying to beat me down with his chew toy. But somewhere between the flying toys and today, something changed. A huge wall came down over the past few years. We've gone from rivals to friends. And if you ask me, either he went soft or I finally won. Speaking of walls coming down, one person who helped that happen the most is Scott. Scott, when you came into our lives, I didn't know what to expect. I sure didn't expect you to agree to keep me at your place for one whole year as a roommate. Yeah. During that 1 year, I got a front row seat to your relationship. And let me tell you all, it was like watching a very well-written sitcom. Yeah. There was love, kisses, more kisses, and guess what? More kisses. More than anything, however, I saw how deeply you care for each other. And I sure saw how you cared for me. Even when I didn't do my rounds of chores, or didn't inform you that I'm coming late, or that I've already eaten lunch when you prepared something for me. That's not just love. That is my gift to you. Consider it as a training for when you have your own children. Scott and Anna, thank you for sharing with me what a real partnership looks like. One built on respect, humor, and a shared love for very expensive Italian cutlery. Loads of them at home. Here's to you both. May life together be full of joy, adventure, and a fridge full of food when I visit with Shreya.
And now my three would like to offer her toast.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Maitri. I am Kaushik's cousin, but I would say that if you asked him, he would say that I am not just his cousin, I am Amma Maitri. And what Amma Maitri means is his bossy, all-knowing, slightly terrifying figure in his life. Which, to be fair, I am. Probably why I'm his best friend today. I don't think you had any real choice in that. You had a couple of choices around. Yeah, it's me. I won. And I have known Kaushik all my life, right? He's technically the older one, but I've always, I don't know, been considered the older one because I bossed him around endlessly when we were young. And honestly, I think there were a lot of times that he allowed that to happen, which I'm very grateful for. Helped with my personality development. I have a lot of confidence because of you. And of course, I think there were times when he needed it. The bossing around, that is. He has been my oldest friend, and he is the best habit I've ever had, and the worst habit I've never been able to shake. Absolutely. From late nights working on his GRE essays to me staggering into his house, drunk as a skunk, sorry mom and dad. Wasn't legal just yet. And much to my Dodama, my aunt's utter horror and disgust. She was like, oh my God, how do I tell my sister this? My daughter's an alcoholic, along with my son. Kaushik and I think we have truly seen it all. I still remember when he came out to me, his first question was, so how are we going to fix me? So Scott, I will belabor to you what we all already know and what I said to him then. There was never anything to fix. He is nice. He is loving, fiercely so. He has a sharp tongue, oh my God, and it cuts teeth. Boy, does it cut teeth, but let me tell you, he has absolutely no ego when he comes to his senses and he apologizes. And his hugs are the most healing I've ever had. He is funny, he is silly, he is wonderful, he's 20 other things, and he also just happens to be great. Yet how incredibly lucky for him and for you, Scott, that he is. How amazing is it that you guys found each other? I mean, Scott, you bring out the calm to his chaos and the grounding in his storms. And that is all any of us want for the people that we love. So everybody, please raise your glasses to Kaushik and Scott. May your mornings be quiet. May your laughter be loud. May your fights be short. And may you be each other's best friends. Cheers! Cheers!
Cheers! To attend this wedding. We're from Brussels, the capital of Belgium and the European Union, not the little town in Wisconsin. And we're both members of the choir Sing Out Brussels. Yeah! On the bass, baritone like Kaushik, and Christoph is a tenor like Scott. So we spend a lot of time with each other on our Wednesday evening rehearsals.
As you probably know, Scott and Kaushik met through this choir in 2019, and that's where their story began in 2020. I was involved in the creation of this LGBT choir, so today I feel a little bit like I have modestly contributed to the creation of a beautiful story.
So it was at the end of the summer 2019 that Kaushik auditioned to join our choir. He was so nervous. Like he can be for emotional moments. But as a gifted person, side note by the way, how many colors do you have today, Kaushik?
Many colors.
Yeah, many colors. Emotional colors. You'll ask him later. But as a gifted person, not only was his audition excellent, like this wedding, but above all, Kaushik was perfectly in tune with the values of our group. He quickly found his place and was able to proudly express who he was.
A few weeks later, Scott took his turn at the audition on the advice of one of his friends. Fun fact, this friend had actually recommended that he join the other LGBT choir in Brussels, of which he had been a member. But our singer is so well referenced on Google that he joined the wrong choir. Scott, that's probably the most beautiful mistake you've ever made.
We have to admit it, we didn't notice anything about Scott and Kaushik courtship in the month that followed. It was only during a workshop weekend in the countryside that a few choir members began to get suspicious. But days later, Belgium went into lockdown.
These difficult periods allowed them to strengthen their love in discretion and gave birth to ours. So it's clear that it wasn't all bad news during this period that we'd all prefer to forget. Not least because choral singing was considered a particularly dangerous activity at the time. For months, we were deprived of our collective activity, but we managed to preserve the community spirit that reigned thanks to online activities.
And when we finally got back together and we were able to put on the show we were all been waiting for, we put our special couple in the spotlight. If you're sick of watching videos of kittens, but you love anything cute, we recommend you watch the live song Time of My Life on the Sing Out Brussels YouTube channel. Indeed, this video opens with a duet of Scott and Kaushik holding hands and staring at each other while singing, I had the time of my life, and I never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I hold it out to you. Without a doubt, one of the cutest moments in our choir's history.
Like many of you, I'm sure, I then traveled the world with a sign saying Mary Kaushik in my suitcase to unlikely places such as the Kingdom of Bahrain in South Korea, making me the accomplice to a long-awaited marriage proposal. In the end, the wedding took place last May in Brussels, and of course we sang. It was a very moving day as we watched their story unfold and grow. It wasn't the first wedding we'd celebrated, but it was the first for two singers who met through the choir. I still get emotional when I think back on it, and I'm also nostalgic for the delicious Indian meal prepared by Kaushik's mom and her family.
Here we are today in the United States, once again witnessing your love and commitment. The tenderness you have for each other, your shared passion for traveling, your dedication to your personal growth, Your humor, your attachment to the choir and its activities are a source of inspiration for us.
We love you and are delighted to be here to share these great moments with you.
And above all, we hope to continue vibrating to the same musical emotions for many years to come.
Thanks to be part of this choir that it brought so much to all four of us. Thank you. We love you.